Last, we want to talk about some tools for transferring really big data. Big data means a lot of things to a lot of different people. For some folks, it simply means big is something larger than what you're used to dealing with on a daily basis. So if you normally work with megabyte files that can be emailed, and suddenly you're working with gigabyte files that can't be transferred in the same ways you're used to, that suddenly becomes big. For other folks, big becomes something much larger than the vast majority of consumers will touch. So we're talking about terabyte file sets, or 1,000 terabytes would be petabyte size data sets. So once you start talking about moving really big data, so much bigger than the, let's say, gigabyte files that consumer systems are kind of designed for in terms of videos and movie transfer, um, you're going to run into a number of challenges using just the traditional command line and some of the GUI tools we talked about before. Those will have poor performance because the protocols were not necessarily tuned for high latency wide area networks or WANs. Um, it makes it very hard to reach the optimal bandwidth that might be available. And those networks may not sustain connectivity. So you might start a download, but those downloads for large files that are going to take 2 days or 3 days to move the terabytes that you need may not be consistent. And if that drops off, hopefully there's not significant restarts. So you need a higher performance option. There's various options out there, but the one that we want to introduce you to is called Globus. And as you can see in the images here, they have moved petabytes of data over the wide area network. A couple of blurbs from their website there, how they do fast, reliable, secure file transfer, how they actually handle some of that file sharing to simplify that, and then actually letting you now discover data and publish data for scientific purposes. So these tools allow operation in parallel. They allow operation that survives given fragile networks or networks that are not sustained continuously throughout the data transfer. So we really recommend looking at something like Globus, and I think we'll have a little guest spot from some of the Globus experts as part of one of these lectures to help you get a better understanding of what the tools are capable of when you run into really big data challenges.